everyone, welcome back to the Motorgraph World channel. My name's Mari. Today I'm here at the Genesis Suji showroom. Let's take a look at the closer designs and the brand new GV80 Coupe version. The GV80 was the first SUV for the Genesis brand. It's a flagship SUV and they're very proud of it. So they put a lot of effort into the new design. You can see from the face that the grille has changed. It's become a little bit more sophisticated. Before it was a different intricate design, whereas this one it's become more refined and you can still see that distinct big grille. And going down to the lip part, you see more chrome details on the bottom lip. And now you see the two dual light features, all of the GV as well as the G80, 70, and the 90s. And this has always been interpreted this time around to the wheels as well. The side profile also looks like a big size flagship SUV. So you see that presence, but you see more of the chrome details, as I mentioned, see on the sides of the car as well as the extensions here. And now these two lines are accentuated not only on the sides but also down here on the wheels. You see these accentuations. These are the new wheels for the GV80, just the GV80, not the coupe version. And so these currently are 22-inch wheels that are also the largest size that you can actually have on the GV80. And now the chrome accents also extend back here as well. And as you can see, those V shapes or the Genesis logo or the emblem shapes are also interpreted at the back of the car. They have done away with the actual mufflers. They don't see it here on the GV80. You do have them on the GV80 Coupe version, but not on the GV80 to add a little bit more of the luxury sedan type of the SUV. Let's take a look at the trunk of the GV80 now. So because of the third row seats, you do have very limited space for the GV80. Of course, considering that you can actually fold up the third row seats, then maybe it will be a little bit better. One plus factor is that because it's not a sloping fly line for the roof, you might be able to stack up on your luggage compared to the GV80 Coupe. That would be a benefit. So considering that this is quite a high trunk entrance, you will have to haul your luggage up in order to get it in. A lot of the SUVs that are quite big and quite high up with the entrance do have air suspension that allows you the option of lowering the entrance a little bit so that you can have more ease into hauling your luggage in. However, this one does not. So now I'm standing in front of the GV80 Coupe or Coupe, and this is actually a very beautiful car that they've come out with for the very first time. Unlike the GV80 model, it has a slightly different front face, of course, because of the various different design features. But first of all, the grille. The GV80 has a new grille as well, but the GV80 Coupe has a slightly different looking grille. This one has just one spoke or one line, but then inside it has kind of like a double layer with the black plastic grille poking out from inside. It's the new, very new coupe of the Genesis lineup. It is actually quite beautiful and it has a very sporty fly line, as you can see from the start all the way to the back. I personally think that considering the size and the design, the GV80 Coupe will probably be one of the most best-selling models among its lineups. I do like this angle, this rear angle. It flies back until the rear spoiler and of course at the back as well. It looks as if this car is much more sportier than all its other brothers and sisters in the lineup. And because the GV80 is indeed a coupe and much more of a sportier athletic drive, you do have the mufflers at the end, both ends in fact, and then you do have that higher trunk and that line where it looks as if the car is in movement. So let's open up the trunk to see how big the trunk actually is. You will notice that I am sitting and the edge of the trunk or the roof is actually hitting my back. So you won't be able to add in or stack up on a lot of the luggage. However, it is quite deep. If we actually open up the second compartment, it's not much space under there. So a little bit more, but not too much. There were lots of needs for the coupe model, and now they've incorporated a 3.5 liter turbo with an electric supercharge. I think that a lot of customers will really appreciate this kind of combination along with the design. This is a GV80 Coupe. As you can see, it's a bit more sportier with the interior design as well as the color tone. They do have these special steering wheels, and the color tones that they've used inside is actually orange or dark orange stitching for the GV80. And even with the seats, they've used a lot of that diamond shaped that they use on their grille onto their seats as well. And now one thing that is, I think, quite significant is that they have applied 27-inch OLEDs for their GV80 and their GV80 Coupe. This is the largest size ever. And because of the 27-inch, they've actually revamped and reapplied their infotainment system to match the 27 inches. They've also, what they did is they've actually streamlined their center fascia to become much more simple or simplified. I do like it because it's actually quite easy to use. It's clean. And you have this kind of compartment where you can close if you don't want to use it, but then you can open it for more convenience, and you can use it as a cell phone charger along with your USB ports. And this panoramic 27-inch OLED display is positioned slightly lower so that it doesn't hinder your line of sight when you're driving. One other upgrade that they have made is that they have actually upgraded their sound system to Bang & Olufsen from Lexicon. If you don't really think too much about the sound system, it's just an upgrade. However, for those of you who do really listen to music or who are aficionados, you will be able to appreciate this upgrade. And a lot of people, when the Coupe came out, were concerned because the Coupe, because of its flyline, they thought that you wouldn't have too much room in the second row seats. However, much to their concern, they don't really need to worry because the headroom, you have more than enough headroom. And even with the legroom, driver's seat, it's just a standard driving position, and I still have more than enough legroom. This is the standard position for the seats. You can even recline your seats, and is done electronically with just one touch of a button. The seats are the same ones as the ones that we saw in the front row seats with the perforated seats as well as the diamond quilting. And it's quite comfortable. It's a little bit on the harder side because it's more of a sportier vehicle and you want that grip. But other than that, I'm quite surprised to see that you have a lot of legroom and headroom. One drawback, however, is that the sunroof, because of this flyline, is a little bit shorter compared to the GV80. As for storage, you do have the armrest, which has 2 cup holders and a small compartment in the middle. One thing that I did forget to mention is that you actually have heated armrests in the center fascia for the front row seats. That's another added plus. So now I'm in the driver's seat of the GV80, and most of the settings and the placements are the same with the GV80 Coupe. However, you can see that there is slight differences in the design aesthetic. Personally speaking, I do like the color tones that they have used in the GV80 Coupe. However, most of you will know that I do not like the diamond quilting seats. So in terms of the seats, I like these perforated seats much better compared to the GV80 Coupe. If you do not like some of the design elements or the materials that have been used inside, of course you do have the option of picking and choosing the ones of your choice. There are so many different options of materials, colors, and compositions that you can pick and choose and make combinations of. So this is just one of the models that you can choose from. So, what did you think about our first look at the GV80 flagship model and the GV80 Coupe? I personally loved the Coupe model. It's flyline, so I'm looking forward to our test drive, and I truly hope that the GV80 Coupe does drive like a sporty model as well. So please stay tuned and look forward to our test drive review. We'll see you next time.